Wednesday on Instagram at 12:30 and YouTube and Facebook at 1 o'clock. And we talk about spinal issues, chronic spinal pain, preventing spinal issues, different ages, how to do all kind of stuff to get your spine to feel good and for you to feel great again and get your life back. Because it's not what we all want. We want to feel amazing. We don't want our backs to limit us and the things that we can do because, you know, it's fearful and it's scary if we have back pain, especially if you know you have a bulging disc, herniated disc, some sort of spinal stenosis, facet arthritis, things along that line where people start thinking that they need surgery right away. Well, the whole reason I started doing this is to let you know that in most cases you don't, and to bring a lot of value to your life and to give you hope and inspire you to realize that there are other options and choices that you have. And so what I thought we'd do today, while we're waiting for some people to hop on, is talk about one of the most common myths. And the common myth we're going to talk about is this one right here. And it is only older adults suffer from back pain. Yeah, that's a common myth, believe it or not. So let's talk about that for a minute. Well, so I'm going to show you this amazing chart that most people usually never get to see unless you're in my world and you're reading research all the time. So let's take a look at this. So what you're looking at right here is a chart to tell you, set my timer so I can stay on time with us today. This is the percentage of abnormal findings on lumbar, that's low back, spine, MRIs, NCT images in healthy pain-free subjects. This was done in the American Journal of Neuroradiology in 2014. Hi, Stephanie, coming for a double dose today. I love it. Thank you. Thanks for being here, Stephanie. I appreciate you, as always. So you'll know all the answers now, Stephanie. So what are we looking at right here? Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. So there's two things I really want you to look at. We're going to start here, and this is going to be 20-year-olds. So this is going to be your age group right there. And over here is going to be your key of the different colors. So what they find in 2014? Well, they found in people that they were in their 20s that probably, we'll just say that's 37%. 37% of people in their 20s had degeneration to their discs in their low back. That's not good, especially if you're going to live to 80 years old. That means you get 60 more years and that degeneration already started. And the worst part is that a lot of people don't even know it because these were in pain-free subjects. The other thing I wanted you to look at is I want you to look at your disc bulges, that's right here, and your disc herniations, also known as a protrusion. And the word protrusion, if you're in this world, describes the shape when that jelly on the inside of your disc, if it comes all the way out, which is known as a herniation, okay? When that comes out, that jelly can come out in different shapes. And the word protrusion describes one shape of that jelly coming out. And what it basically means is that the area that connects to the disc itself, to the white part where it's coming out, is wider than the piece coming out. So it has a broad base and it makes like a dome like this. So that's what the word protrusion means. But let's go back to the graph here. So we know that people in their ages of 20, so you're looking at right here, almost every third person that you come across, that you see, has a disc protrusion or a disc herniation in the ages of 20. So we're going to talk about that here for a minute and why. I know, right, Stephanie? We did. We had an amazing Thanksgiving. Thank you so much. Got to see my boys. Got to spend some time with my amazing girlfriend and her family. So yeah, and I know, I can't believe Christmas and New Year's are right around the corner too. I hope Santa Claus brings you something amazing because you deserve something amazing. And hopefully lots of love and happiness in your life too. Oh, buenas tardes, Marisa. Thank you. And buenas tardes to you too. So yeah, you know, I was just looking at this and now this is like having even more impact on me. So let's go up to 40 years of age. Okay. And what happens right here? Disc degeneration almost doubles from 20 to 40. So now here we are, and we're at probably 67%. of people in their 40s, which is still not old. You're only halfway through life. The average age expectancy is going to be in the 80s for most people without getting too technical about it. But you're also looking at this gray area where about 33% of them have herniated discs in their 40s. This is a big part of my age group that, people coming in, and they usually start getting symptomatic around this point. So the whole reason I wanted to show you this chart was because I wanted you to start to understand that this stuff can happen at a very early age. I've had, more kids that have come into my practice, in the last 5 years that are in 13, 14, 15. I had a girl that was 10 years old, had one herniation in her low back and a bulging disc at 10 years old. I've had 13 and 14-year-olds come in with 5 bulging discs in their low back and already having chronic back pain. So why does that happen? Well, let's talk about that for just a second here, if you want to know. And if you got questions, I got answers for you, probably most of the time anyway. And I would love to help guide you or someone that you care about. If you're thinking about someone that might fall into this category and they're looking for help, they're looking for a non-surgical approach to their spinal health, we want to be that resource for you. We want to be the global leader in non-surgical spine repair. And I spend a lot of time studying this stuff and doing these lives to help you and bring great information so you can feel more informed and make better decisions and have someone that's on your side too, and not just telling you that you got to have surgery and that's the only option. So that being said, what's a Newton? And why are we talking about Newtons? Well, you're going to see here in a second. Let's keep it simple. Without getting too physicsy here, it is the amount of force that it takes to move 1 kilogram of weight. Okay, so that's what it is in a nutshell. Without getting too technical, why do you need to know about Newtons? Well, let's talk about it here for a second here. Well, because this is one reason you need to understand about Newtons. If you've been with me before, you have seen this slide, I'm sure. This was me after taking about 13 x-rays on my neck to get these 2 pictures. So yeah, I was like, Dr. Rentgen and his wife, x-raying their hand over and over again to get a better picture, except I x-rayed half of my brain and my neck. But I did it for you and I did it for science. So why do I show you this? Well, what am I holding? Well, it's hopefully pretty obvious that I'm holding my phone in front of me. And this is how, let's go back, sorry about that. Okay, this is how we want you to hold your phone. We want you looking straight ahead, like this. Okay? So, and what that's going to do is help maintain the curve in your neck. And that's really important because when your neck lines up properly, when this dot right there of your neck and the back bottom part of the C7 vertebra like this, when they line up in a straight line, like this, called your center of gravity, your head weighs somewhere about 8 to 12 pounds, depending on how big you are. So let's just call it 10 pounds. We'll go with the average. So that means that there's 10 pounds of force through my neck, and that can be converted into newtons if you want, but that's 10 pounds right there. Every inch our head goes forward of this line. So if we come out here, if that now is where this dot's supposed to be, so if my head is forward another inch right there, it weighs another 10 pounds. Okay, so now we got 10 pounds plus 10 pounds now at 20. And here's a perfect example. I got the picture that I want. So let's go up from the back of C7. That's where the center of gravity should be. This is what most people are doing in their life, right? Looking down on their phones. Let's say that's 3 inches. And I've seen way worse, and I'm sure you have too. So that equals 30 additional pounds of force. Don't forget, plus the 10 your head already weighs, equaling 40 lbs. Do you think that can cause rapid degeneration? Yeah, absolutely. Do you ever see any kids doing this stuff? Probably not, right? They're all doing it. And I ride my kids' butts all the time. Hold your phone up, hold your phone up, hold your phone up, hold your phone up, like a broken record. Hopefully, eventually, they're going to remember it. And I see them making changes. So kudos if your kids are doing a great job holding their phone up. But if they're not, please share this with them, because they got to understand what this does to the human spine. And what is it doing? Well, it's doing this right here. That's what's happening. Right? And they don't even know it yet, because they figure if they're not in pain, it must not be happening. Well, that's not the truth, and we know that from the Journal of Neuroradiology from 2014. All right, now you know all about Newtons. What else do you need to know about this? How else does it happen? Well, it happens by sitting postures, right? So if you stand, it's 100 kilograms of pressure through your low back. We know that. And if you sit back in your chair, it goes up to 105%. So you can see these different ones. I don't have to explain all of them. What's the most common posture that people are getting into? That guy right there, right? Moving toward their keyboard, moving toward their mouse. And what is that? That is 190% compression, greater than standing. Okay? Do you think that could lead to degeneration of your spine and rapidly increase the degeneration and the chances of disc protrusions, herniations? Yeah, all day long. All right. So back health should be a mandatory part of health class or physical education. Yeah, Stephanie, I agree with you. And Marisa, I totally agree with you. And I think anatomy and physiology should be part of everybody's education as well. Should not be an elective that you only take on your last year of high school. We should learn this at every single stage of our life, so that by the time we get out of high school, we really understand our bodies and how they work on a cellular level. What do they need to stay healthy and function and keep our immune system strong, keep our emotional health well? Those should all be mandatory classes for us, and unfortunately they're not, and so people got to learn the hard way, right? Which is really sad to see our kids go through that stuff. So these are some other stuff. This is one of the big ones right here that I want to show you, and this is a person do a deadlift, my least favorite exercise to do in a gym, and here's why. So don't cheat and look at the picture on the left quite yet, but here's a guy that is having proper form, where he's got some curvature in the right direction in his low back right there. But this guy's got no weight in his hands. So I want you to see that there's no weight. Just that posture alone is 200 newtons of shear loading. What is shear? Shear is when there's a force that does, let's try to get a good picture right here for you, when it shifts like that, that's shear. So just in that picture, posture alone, 200 newtons of shear. Well, what happens if he's got bad form? And we don't want 200 newtons of force going through his spine when he is carrying no weight, he's just bending over like that. So if they do it the wrong way, and you'll see people doing this, okay, when they're in a hurry, goes to 1,900 newtons of sheer force into his low back. So you think 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds, you know, they start getting into middle school, you know, they're like, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna start getting jacked, right? I get it, I was there. This is what happens, and this is usually why people think that it's a myth that only older people get back pain. I see more and more children these days getting back pain, and a lot of the ones that injure their discs are doing deadlifts and squats in the gym. So just please keep that in mind if these are your children. Try to share this with them. I know it's not always easy to educate because they think they know it all, but you know, sometimes you can show them a little bit of stuff like this, and even though they don't agree with you, it still sticks in there, believe it or not. Okay, so what else did we want to talk about? Avoiding this stuff right here. I don't want you looking like this at all. I don't want anybody having surgery unless you have a trauma to your spine. You know, if there's a trauma, you get in a car accident, you fall off a mountainside, you got fractured vertebrae and all that stuff. Yeah, they're the best guys. You know, the spinal surgeons, the neurosurgeons are gonna be the best people to go to see on that stuff. I unfortunately can't help you with it, but if it's anything less than that, typically, in most cases, unless you have a cauda equina syndrome, which is where you can't control your bladder and your bowel function, and you're just peeing and pooping in your pants, which is really rare, just so you know. I've never seen it yet. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. Most surgeons are going to tell you if you have a bulging disc or herniated disc, spinal stenosis, facet arthropathy, that you need to get cut open and you need to create stability, or spondylolisthesis. Manage many spondylolistheses without surgeries. That is where typically from front to back, the spine shifts like this. They're graded, grade 1, 2, 3, and 4 for every centimeter that the vertebrae goes forward. Off of the other one is a grade, 1 centimeter. So if it's 2 centimeters forward, it's grade 2, 3 centimeters, grade 3, etc. Okay, just so you know. But those are usually very manageable. All these people right here probably all got rods in their spine because they had a spondylolisthesis or they had a bulging or herniated disc, and they're never going to be the same. 27 to 38% success rate for most people, and within 3 years to 5 years, they need another surgery. Tiger Woods is a perfect example. He's on spine surgery number 5 and crashed his car and destroyed his marriage because he was on opiate drugs as well, trying to deal with the pain. That's what happens to a lot of these people, and we don't want that happening to you. So if you or someone that you love is suffering from this, I hope that you'll share this video. I hope it'll inspire them. We want you to know that non-surgical success goes anywhere from 70% to 88%. I've had it all the way up as high as 93% in my practice pretty regularly, believe it or not. Helping people with their bulging disc, herniated disc, and spinal stenosis manage it without drugs and without surgery. It just takes a little bit of time, and you got to do the right stuff, and you got to have the right guidance, and that's why I'm here to do all that stuff for you. So please don't lose hope. I want you to feel inspired if you feel this, and we want to answer your questions for you. Thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate that. Be on the lookout. We'll be launching Disc University in February. I'm super excited to share this. We've been working on it for over a year. It's getting really good. I think it's going to be the best product that you're ever going to come across when it comes to being able to manage spinal health, especially bulging and herniated discs, especially if you're a mom in your age group of 40 to 50, which is usually really where it starts, becoming a chronic thing. I want to be the resource for you and help you manage that and get your life back so you can feel great again. So thanks for being here today, as always. Stephanie, always great to have you on here. I miss you when you're not. Marisa, always amazing to have you here, and everybody else. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for the great ideas. If you got anything else you want to talk about for a minute or two, let me know. I'd be happy to do that for you. Stephanie, you guys gotten any snow up there yet? I know we haven't gotten any here. It's been cold enough, I think, to definitely do it, but we haven't, I don't think we've gotten any yet, but we're getting close though. So hopefully that'll be fun for everyone. So have a great day too, Stephanie. Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, I don't know if you heard my last question or not, but you can leave me a message if you guys got any snow in Pennsylvania, which is where I grew up. So great to have everybody here. We'll see you next Wednesday at 12:30. What? 2 inches melted already? That's a bummer. Hopefully the kids got a late start to school or got the day off. Probably not if it melted already, but that's fun. Send me a picture if you would. All right, you guys. See you next week. Happy holidays to y'all.